We started off, we met actually back in 1980, which by my calculations is, hang on a minute, about 30 years ago. And we met in a rehearsal room in London with the idea to rehearse songs for the first MSG album. I don't remember, we only did a day or maybe 2 days, and then we were in the studio and we spent about maybe a week. It's a long time ago, so it's hard to really remember, but about a week playing all those songs that became MSG and that record, which became kind of, I don't know, like an almost an encyclopedia of heavy metal, you know. People, even 30 years later, still bring that record up to me all over the world to sign, you know. And it's great. The songs were really good and they've stood the test of time. That's how it started. The inspiration I have, especially playing those songs, is actually that record and how I played those songs back in 1980. Because I kind of listen to them and I go, that's interesting. I approached it that way. I was 30 years younger. But hearing it now, I don't think I would, there's maybe one or two things I would have changed. But otherwise, I think for the time, it was fine. So in a way, that was the inspiration. But the way I approach music anyway is I just feed the song. Whatever the song needs, it's instinct with me. So there's the inspiration for me to play is to hear other people playing and hearing them play from their heart. And one thing I noticed, Michael and I haven't seen each other for a long time, and I haven't heard him play for a long time, but I was really happy to see that he was, you know, playing great, puts all of his feeling and emotion into it, and that's enough inspiration for me to play. It's a funny one. Again, for me, it's the music first. I was very lucky when I was very young. I was exposed to many types of music. When I started playing drums, I used to play along to records. I was, you know, when I was 5 years old, 6 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old, and all those records were a little different. You know, 1 minute I'd be playing to Dave Brubeck, Take 5. Then I'd be playing to Chicago Transit Authority. And then I'd be playing to Isaac Hayes, the theme from Shaft. So there was a real wide or broad mixture of types of music. I also grew up playing jazz. My first music was actually Dixieland jazz, which people find really strange considering the kind of player I am. But I think that gave me this way of being able to internalize music and playing it the way that I feel naturally. Style was never really a hurdle for me. In London, I remember in the mid-70s, for a while there, I was doing a lot of reggae recording dates. So I played a substantial amount of reggae music, you know. When I first moved to Los Angeles in 1992, I got really steeped into Latin music. So I played with a couple of Latin bands there, which was a whole learning experience. But you see, for me, it's all music. And funnily enough, it's all Western music. There's so much other music too. In the East, in Eastern European music. I mean, it's incredible. So I think it's just, I just love all styles of music. It's funny you should say that. I love it, actually. I remember his playing and his approach and his sound back in 1980. That's a long time ago, 30 years ago. We were just rehearsing in Los Angeles, and I'm very into sound. I'm a recording engineer and do a lot of recording production, so I'm very interested in everybody's kind of concept and where they come from. And I was just checking Michael out when we were rehearsing, when I could kind of relax a little bit. And I was really just loving his approach. He really digs in and he gets a great sound. And for me, that's very, very important. And it was really good to see, after all this time, to see that he still has it, and he still is passionate about it. And it's also the body movement. And I'm sitting behind. I see his ass, you know. But you can tell by the body language how musicians are playing and how they're digging in. And it's just, it puts a smile on my face. It's great. I'm playing and I go, yeah, I just like to see it. Because not all musicians have that. Yes, I have a lot of plans, actually. I'm going to be back in Japan next month. So doing something completely different. I think if some of the audience who are coming to see the show tonight came to see what I'm doing in February, they would go, huh? Is this the only thing they'll recognize is the same drum kit and the same hair. But otherwise the approach and the style is completely different. As for playing more with Michael, I don't know yet, but I have to say that this has been a really pleasant surprise and something I was not expecting at all. This came out of the blue, and it's really good to see. You know, Michael. He's looking great. He's in great health and great spirits. Maybe we can do some more. So let's just see how this works. But certainly would be enjoyable. Yeah.